Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthfication Chronicles, and I had a little equipment failure right before I started recording. So I am hand-holding my microphone, and I hope that it's not going to make a lot of noise, okay? I'm going to try to keep this short. So let's start out with the tweet that Trump put up. This was his tweet about Christianity Today. And he said it was, I guess the magazine Christianity Today is looking for Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, or those of the socialist, communist bent to guard their religion. How about Sleepy Joe? The fact is, no president has ever done what I have done for evangelicals or religion itself. And that's very true. So when people come to me and they say, well, how can you as a Bible-believing Christian support Trump? Well, we've talked about this before. My view is that we're all sinners. And if we're looking for a perfect person to, become our president, it's just not going to happen. We all have flaws. And so anyway, this goes on. And I, of course, responded to it. And I said, sadly, Christianity Today hasn't had a biblical viewpoint for more than a decade. It's embraced the fake liberal, quote, Christianity that ignores parts of the Bible they don't like and that remakes God into the type of God they want that suits their tastes. Avoid it like the plague. So I wanted to show you what was going on here. And so this Ty Sargent here, decided to respond and said, Jesus was the world's first socialist. Yeah, not. I hear that, and it is such a lie. And so, of course, I had to come back and say an erroneous statement. Jesus never advocated the government takeover of services to the poor. He always advocated that we individuals extend our hands to those less fortunate because we choose to do so. Socialism steals from some to give to others and forces compliance. Not biblical. Well, Ty Sargent comes back and says, isn't that good sometimes? You steal some from wealthy jerks like Donald Trump and give to those who are in need. Sure, it's unethical, but you do it for a good cause. Okay, now keep this in mind. This is what this guy has said. I mean, when I read it, it's like, really? Do you truly believe that? Well, let's go on. Anyway, I responded, stealing is against God's law and also against U.S. law. Are you suggesting some people are above the law? Or that the law only counts when it's regulating things you want it to regulate? And, of course, hashtag rule of law, hashtag nobody is above the law. Jesus never advocated stealing, ever. But when you look at this guy, I mean, is this really a position that people take? Well, I have heard liberals say this, that Jesus was the first socialist. And of course, Pete Buttigieg is very big on this. Of course, he only reads parts of the Bible and then assumes that he knows what it's all about, because I've heard him speak on it many times and he does not understand what it's really saying. So I wanted to point out to you, though, that this guy, this Ty Sargent, well, look at this, Ty Sargent, whatever it is, nothing, no following and no followers. Joined in September 2019. So you know what this tells me? This person is likely a bot of some kind, or at least somebody who is a troll, and that's all they do, and they're probably a paid shill in what they're doing. And of course, Trump's account has a lot of these that respond to him. And so I wanted to point this out. And again, I wanted to share with you that if you have people who confront you and say that Jesus was really a socialist, you say, no, he was not. That's not what he taught. And there are places in the Bible, too, that say that, he who doesn't work doesn't eat. So God is definitely all about working and contributing to society. In fact, if you know anything about the Bible, you realize that God is the one who actually created the concept of work. When he created the Garden of Eden, he put man there to work the ground, to tend the garden. That was their original job. They had a job to tend the garden before the fall. So I just wanted to point that out to you. If you're not a religious person, don't worry. The rest of it doesn't have anything to do with religion, but I just had to point that out. And the next one I want to talk to you about is Greta Thunberg because she put this tweet out about the fires that are going on in Australia. We still fail to make the connection between the climate crisis and increased extreme weather events and nature disasters. Well, I thought it was pretty good because the Aussie Prime Minister, Morrison, pretty much took her to task. He said he's focused on Australia's interest rather than an observation that is being delivered from safety 12,000 miles away. And so he's not real fond of her. And I think that's an excellent stance to take. You know, I used to work with teenagers, and I like what they put here. I used to work with a lot of teenagers, and I realized that when they are in their teens, they tend to think that they know more than everyone else around them. I mean, it just kind of comes with growing up. And then as they age, they start to realize how very little they actually know. So I think Greta is going through this stage right now. One of the things that I really, and this is going to sound strange, but I really feel bad for her because I really think she's being used by the left to promote their agenda. And that concerns me, you know, whenever they take advantage of somebody like that. So I think that's what's going on. I think she has been indoctrinated, and she really is just parroting back words that she's heard at this point. So, you know, maybe I would be surprised if I talked to her, but I find it really hard to believe that someone that age has that many strong opinions without being influenced by others around her. So I wanted to point that out to you. As always, the links will be down below, and you can check out the full article if you want to. The dirty truth here is a thread that points out some of the Hannity things that went on with Tammy Bruce. She was the person filling in for Hannity tonight, and I'm recording this on the 26th in the evening. And so there's some really good clips here that you can listen to. There's an entire thread, and I'll put the link down below so you can listen to these clips. But essentially, in this one, you know, the Horowitz report is causing some anxiety in the DC swamp. Gee, surprise, surprise. And that's pretty much what she says. And then here she has Sarah Carter and John Solomon. And the FISA court must have known about this because the report from Devin Nunes and Trump said he needs to get rid of the bad actors in the swamp. He needs to clean house. So very interesting clips. And here's a third one too. And John Solomon says it's the greatest political scandal was allowed to be carried out because no one fears the FISA court. They just keep creating new procedures and there's no accountability. So that was a really good thread. That's it's just those 3 tweets right there, but they're 3 clips that are really important that would be good for you to watch. Okay, and then going on, this one was an article that pointed out, and you've probably heard about it by now, but that, you know, Trump had a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2. So when the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, decided to edit that part out. So they just edited it out. You know, it's really sad that they are so petty about all this. But I wanted to point that out to you. And then this one right here, Hunter Biden facing new accusations in ongoing Arkansas court case against mother of his child. The more they dig, the more there is. Earned $156 million from Ukraine company with money laundering. Claims also continue to connect Kerry, Obama's State Department, and Ambassador Yovanovitch. So here is another clip. This is a really good clip from OAN that talks about the situation. And I think it's kind of ironic that here the Congress should be investigating such things as a former vice president using his position when he was vice president to enrich his son. But oh no, they don't want to cover that, right? Oh, instead, it has to be some girl that he got pregnant who is going to out all of this. I just think it's kind of funny that that's who's doing it, and all of this stuff is coming out now. So I'll leave the link to this clip down below. It's a really good clip here and lasts for a couple minutes. But yeah, the court filing is what's going to expose the truth. So I just think that's really good. And then I wanted to show you this. Yeah, check out this picture. Now, I got to ask you folks, how old is this picture? That is not recent at all. And I don't know, is this in the White House? And why in the world would you post pictures of the White House, at Christmas when you haven't been there for a very, very long time? So I don't know. I don't know the timing of it, and I don't know that this necessarily looks like the White House. I don't know. So I'm not that familiar with the inside. But anyway, so there you go. And Hillary's like saying, a Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night, if that is really Hillary saying that. And my comment was, well, next year in Gitmo. There you go. So I just wanted to share that one with you. So that's what I've got for you, folks. I know it's kind of short and everything, but I tell you, the chronic fatigue syndrome is really kicking my butt right now. I still have about 25 gifts I have to finish up before Sunday. So I'm getting there. I'm really close. It's just some of them are taking a lot longer than others. And I kind of forgot a few of the little kids that I have to do some crocheting for. So I'm working on those tonight. And, guys are just hard to make gifts for. And I try to make something for all of my family members. So it's a big task. But the gift items aren't really big. They're just something to say, I was thinking about you and I wanted you to know that. And one last thing, on my Twitter feed here, I will link to it, but I put this post right here. I will put a link down below to it so you can go there. Remember, even if you don't have a Twitter account, you can still go see the feed. And I put the pictures that have the text on them, but I'm going to put a text document, probably a PDF, on my website. I just didn't get to it today because I've been doing Christmas presents. So yeah, ours is on the 29th, so I'm still got just a few days. Anyway, so this is the whole poem here if you want to look at it or share it if you're on Twitter. I don't know. I think they've been shadow banning it because it's just not getting very much traction, or maybe people aren't interested. I don't know, but I did do a lot of tagging of the main people mentioned in it. So thought that would be interesting. And like I said, somewhere along the line, I'll put, a link to the actual PDF somewhere on my website. And I just have not had a time to get there. And one more thing, you might want to make sure you click the bell with the, on the notifications and make sure that you set it to all, because I don't know what I'm going to be able to do for the next week or so. I mean, there's a lot of energy expenditures that are going to happen, and I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to get out or when they're going to come out. And of course, with this new internet, I don't know, the download speed is awesome. The upload speed sucks. So it's the upload speed that I really, really needed to be awesome. And that's where I'm having the issues. So I've got to contact them. But again, it's just a weird week now until after the 1st. And things are just odd, right? So that's kind of the situation I'm in right now. Sorry about that. But if you click that little notification bell and then you make sure that you set it for all, then you should be able to see whenever I put out a new video. Okay? So that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.